Is it working?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Trent. Good
Can you hear
to
me?
see you, man. Yeah, I'm
Good
good
to
to go.
see you, man. Okay.
Is my
Hey, if you're gonna
is
do
my
a free,
truck is my truck too loud? I put in my AirPods and hopefully help that.
no, you're good. You're good.
All right, cool.
Okay. Hey, I really do appreciate you doing this, man. So
Yeah, no
the
doubt.
first thing the first thing I'll do, there's gonna be Ole Miss fans watching this. There's gonna be people from all over the country watching this video. So first, you can introduce yourself, tell what years you played at Ole Miss, and just kind of tell any kind of information you want to tell.
Yeah, no problem. Let me go ahead now.
Oh, can you hear me?
Sorry, I broke up for a second. Let me go ahead. Go ahead now.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, my name is Ryan Buchanan. I played at Ole Miss under the Hugh Freeze era, 2013 through 16, and yeah. Anyways, came in there with the top recruiting class. I think we were number 3, maybe number 4 in the country in 2013, and played with a lot of good guys, and ended my last year on our Sugar Bowl year. So it was a good run.
Yeah. I mean, back in that 2013 recruiting class was, one of the best we ever had before at Ole Miss. You had Robert Candice, Wormy Tunzel, Laquan Treadwell, Tony Connor, Jordan Wilkins, Quincy Abadojo, Evan Ingram, Derek Jones. I mean, a bunch of those guys went to pro, man. But,
Yeah.
you was part of that 2013 recruiting class as well. But, okay, so, back in 2013, you're a 4-star quarterback. What was your top 3 or top 5 schools you were considering?
Definitely Alabama, Florida when Muschamp was there. Alabama, Florida, and Auburn, and then Ole Miss.
Okay. So why was Ole Miss a choice?
It was really probably our recruiting class. A combination of I'm from Mississippi, but that really wasn't the only decision because, I mean, I had Muschamp hold off 2 other guys from committing, which one ended up committing once I chose Ole Miss, but he gave me 2 weeks to make a decision. And, if I saw that, Quan and Laramie, some other guys were looking at going Ole Miss and being 2 hours down the road, I sit there and I go to Florida or somewhere, and then or Auburn. I'm playing Ole Miss every year with the top recruiting class. It's like it's never happened. Why would I go somewhere else when I got the talent, I got the line, I got the receivers 2 hours down the road, and we're the top of the country, better than Michigan's class or Notre Dame or whatever it is. So I was like, once we
Yeah.
started kind of putting the pieces together, it was a no-brainer decision. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's opportunity hard to turn down right there. Okay,
Yeah,
so you play under
it was good.
so you play under Coach Hugh Freeze. Do you have some kind of funny story or favorite memory of Hugh Freeze?
Uh, he was he was an interesting guy to play for. Just kind of looking back and seeing kind of what all we went through. I mean, he was a good coach. I'd always say this about him. I mean, he could be an offensive coordinator anywhere he wants to right now in the country, I'd say. He what happened with us when 2015 when we went 10-3, wanted to be 11-2 and go to the SEC championship game besides the Arkansas loss. But combining him and Dan Warner, Dan was a play caller during the game, and Freeze really
Yeah.
was unbelievable at putting in a game plan the week of, and kind of how they watched. I mean, they when I was there, beat Alabama 2 out of 3 years, and I watched them. What sets we put in going into the week. I mean, there was really, from the only time that I can remember, they put quarterbacks in such good positions in the sets that we put in that week. The only time that threw them off was 2014 against Arkansas, when Arkansas had a new defensive coordinator and they played more zone than we prepped more of a man team. But most of the time they're pretty unbelievable. I think Freeze is unbelievable at scheming for opponents. And I think if I don't know where he'll go after Liberty, but offense coordinator wise, he's definitely one of the best in the country, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, so what was your favorite memory of playing at Ole Miss?
I'd probably say it was probably winning our Sugar Bowl. I mean, it was more than beating Alabama. I mean, I think Alabama in 14 was definitely – it was a fun game, but it wasn't – it was unexpected to the entire country, but it wasn't unexpected to any of guys like Evan, Laquan, me, or it was Bo Wallace, the quarterback at the time that was ahead of me. I mean, we knew our game plan, and we thought we have just as much talent as them, and we can beat them.
Yeah.
So I mean, so for me, it was really the Sugar Bowl and getting a ring and going through that process. I think that was one of the best.
Yeah. Okay, so I do want to ask you another question. So, back in 2014, 15, you had Bo Wallace in 2014, and in 2015, you had Chad Kelly. And this is kind of going back to your recruiting decision coming to Ole Miss. Do you have any regrets of coming to Ole Miss? Would you have changed your mind now, looking back?
Oh yeah. I would have been at Auburn. I would have gone to Auburn. Hell, if I went to Florida, started as a redshirt freshman, just because Jeff Driscoll left and went to Louisiana Tech. But I had to make this decision years before, man, as a junior in high school. And coaches can leave, QBs can get hurt. I mean, there's so much stuff that can happen that you don't know. And I'm comparing Jeff Driscoll to Bo Wallace, a 5-star versus a 2-star. I'm like, all right, well, I can come in with the top recruiting class, take over after my redshirt year. And Bo was really good. And I think he was a great quarterback. And then Jeff is the one who ended up going to Louisiana Tech. It's like, there's no idea. And then Jeremy, I forgot the dual threat quarterback's name that was in my class. He signed at Auburn 2 weeks before I decided, and that's why I didn't go to Auburn. And, they had a Sean White start my year when Chad Kelly was there. And Sean was, I think, a pretty average quarterback. And we took care of them. And I'm like sitting here behind Chad Kelly, like, I need to be, I wish I was at Auburn. So it's, anyways, you can look back, it's always what is. But the difference was, back in 2015, you could not transfer inside the SEC and start, or you'd have to sit out a full year and go completely different place, and it just wasn't the thing at the time. And like now you can, and that's what I would have done. I wanted to stay in the SEC. I wanted to play for these bigger schools. I didn't want to sit out, but I mean that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. I mean, Chad went JUCO. Mississippi has the best JUCO schools in the country, and Ole Miss was right down the road and was a year above me, and so it was kind of like it worked out for him. But definitely looking back, it's like I mean I would have gone somewhere else, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I was just always wondering because, out of high school, you're a 4-star quarterback, and you're probably thinking, by yourself, more.
Oh, shit.
Ole Miss season.
Hold on, I'm sorry. You mind repeating that one more time? I don't know. I mean, it was working fine this whole time. It just kind of got delayed for a second.
Okay. Yeah, my bad. Okay, so, right now, Ole Miss is 2-0 on the season. How do you think Ole Miss will finish this season?
Man, I think it's a 9-3 year. I think it's a 9-3 year. I think LSU is down. I think a lot is going to come down to. I think we'll take care of business with LSU. Arkansas is going to be tough. I mean, I think they're a good program. Second year under their head coach, and they've given us trouble for the last 5 to 7 years. Yeah. So a lot of people are writing that down as a W, but I think Arkansas is going to be tough. The whole thing, the whole season riding on 2 things. Main thing is injuries. I mean, where Ole Miss is always going to be a top-heavy school. I mean, even when we were there, we were arguably the best in the country. Laramie goes down. You drop off from a 5 to a 3-star or a young 3-star. if we lose our linebacking core, someone gets hurt, it just changes everything.
Oh
So
yeah,
if
yeah,
we can stay
for sure.
healthy, it's the Alabamas and LSU's, they got 2 to 3 lines on a depth chart. We won't. The schools like us. So if we stay healthy, we're a 9-3 team, no doubt. And I think if Matt is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I think has a lot more situational awareness now. I mean, you can't throw 6 picks in a game and expect to win. And the fact that he threw 6 in a game and we still competed against LSU and Arkansas is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to do that anymore. I think he understands when he needs to get rid of it. I mean, because his talent's off the charts. I mean, that's it's unbelievable. Right. So it's just like, hey, what can he play to win? And when I say play to win, that means being smart. You can't have a turnover late in the third quarter and lose momentum off let's say something you're trying to do two extra, or you're not, you're just something that's, it's not like it was tipped the line of scrimmage, but a bad late interception in a game. I think playing to win is taking that ball down, tossing it, and punting, or taking a field goal in certain situations. So if he does that, we're a 9-3 team all day, just because of the way the defense is playing right now too. It's huge improvement.
Oh yeah, huge improvement from last year for sure. Hey, I saw the question to have for you. Don't want to keep you too long. Hey, really do appreciate you doing this, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. You have a good day. Hotty toddy.
Yeah, man. Thank you.